When people hear the term peace studies or peace building, some people still conjure up folks sitting around the campfire holding hands singing Kumbaya, or radical leftists who want to overturn at least Berkeley, if not Washington, D.C.
I come from the Holy Land. I come from a region which is in desperate need of peace and justice. Coming from this part of the world, making peace is a matter of life and death.
We as a country have found tremendous technology. We have huge advantages militarily. We found that we are able to win wars. What happens then? No more important question, I think, faces our country than how to make peace studies real, how to build peace.
Father Theodore Hesburgh, the president of the University of Notre Dame for 35 years in the 1980s, was giving one of his standard speeches about his vision of peace during the Cold War. As he tells it, an attractive young blonde walked up to me and said, "I'm going to help you. I believe in what you're doing."
And she made up her mind that this was something she wanted to help get born and sponsor. And it was just an absolutely generous thing to do, and she did it on her own.
$12 million later, we had the endowment for the Joan B. Kroc Institute, which is devoted to education and training in peace studies, a broad field that brings together a number of disciplines around questions of justice, nonviolence, and building peace around the world.
Our students are people who know human misery firsthand, either because they've experienced it or because they've devoted their lives to working with people who've experienced it.
For me, personally, working with the farmers, the landless farmers in the Philippines, and you see that they're working towards something, but they don't know how to get there, or they're voiceless, or they remain marginalized.
We had close to 500,000 refugees scattered in about 14 camps, and most of these were from Rwanda just after the genocide.
Having been born in the northeast border of Mexico with the United States, I was acutely aware of the space that is created by the union of two countries, both the beautiful and the violent and unjust. Those experiences really affected my outlook on the world, and I think that's really what has brought me here.
We have a very distinctive graduate program that brings this year 24 students from 17 different countries around the world, age early 20s, mid 40s, with a variety of backgrounds.
The selection of students is a combination of art and science. We receive more than 200 applicants a year, and in those applications we've got to choose less than 10% of the folks to come and study with us.
Do these theories have any relevance, let's say, in the Sudan? Or could they help in reconstruction in Somalia?
Students at the Kroc Institute are outstanding, really. Best students I've ever taught.
What if there had been a mass movement toward human shields in Iraq?
Gandhi professes, in order to use nonviolence effectively, you must have at least the ability to recourse to a more violent alternative.
The Kroc Institute already has over 350 graduates in the world who are spreading the message of peace.
And what for me has been really useful is actually having a network, not only in terms of the alumni from my own year, but also in terms of alumni from other years. So when I came to South Africa, the contact with other people who had been through the Peace Studies program just immediately added something to my experience of South Africa.
We have a particular concern of trying to bring to campus and engage in dialogue people at the forefronts of global peace building and peacemaking.
If you satisfy those conditions, then amnesty shall be granted.
The Archbishop Desmond Tutu visit, to have a Nobel Prize winner here. This extraordinary role model had a huge impact on our students because he continued to tell us that in the context of these difficult times, it's really the efforts of individuals and a human struggle that mattered.
It's particularly important that the Kroc Institute is located in the University of Notre Dame. We focus on a mission that is essentially a Catholic mission with universal appeal, and that is the alleviation of human misery.
To be here, a Muslim in this atmosphere, it's enriching spiritual experience and exposed also to the world of Christianity.
It's on the one hand a kind of vibrant United Nations based in South Bend, Indiana, and on the other hand a group of young people of similar mind and persuasion learning more about each other in a kind of trusting and growing situation.
As a Muslim, I found myself very much affirmed in my own identity, and I found a great affinity with many of the values which forms the ethos of this great university.
We're not just classmates who meet in the classroom, we actually live together. And that ensures that you don't only learn academically, but you learn about yourself.
And it also means that when you see things happening on the world scene in terms of political developments, you very easily have one of your housemates or your study peers that can just bring a whole additional perspectives on what you see in the media.
And it's almost like having a second family here. And you can't put a price on that, you can't put a value on that.
Our students are people who've been told no all their lives and who have made those no's into yeses. When we admit them to the Kroc Institute, we give them probably one of the biggest yeses they've ever had in their lives. And it's a glorious experience watching them come together and build community, something that they've been busy doing in their home countries all over the world.